Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Charlie. On today's episode, I'm going to be showing y'all how to make my delicious honey bun style monkey bread. Now, it consists of small pieces of dough which are infused with honey, coated with lots of butter, cinnamon, sugar, and then afterwards the pieces are added into a Bundt pan and baked to perfection. Once the bread has cooled for a few minutes, we create a butter, vanilla, honey glaze, and we drizzle that right on top just before serving. And once done, the only thing you do is just take a little piece, you just pull it off the bread like that and eat it. This recipe you can get about 55 medium-sized pieces per one pan of monkey bread. Now this is a great comforting dish to serve, especially during the holidays like Christmas. It's comforting and absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here's all you'll need to make your honey bun style monkey bread. Let's get started with our ingredients. You will need some all-purpose flour, sugar, brown sugar, salt, instant yeast, unsalted butter, large eggs at room temperature, whole milk, vanilla extract, butter extract, almond extract, honey, cinnamon, confectioner's sugar, and this last ingredient is optional. You can use some chopped pecans. And for your tools, you will need some Baker's Joy nonstick baking spray. And to bake your monkey bread, you will need a Nordic Ware Anniversary Bundt pan. Now this is a 15 cup in capacity Bundt pan. You can also use a tube pan as well. And there we have it. Alright, let's get straight to it. So we're going to get started with the dry ingredients. So in our stand mixer bowl, add 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of instant yeast, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Stir all your ingredients together. Okay, let's get started with our wet ingredients. So in this medium-sized bowl, add 2/3 cup plus 2 tablespoons of warm whole milk. Milk should have a temperature of 120 degrees Fahrenheit. 2 large eggs at room temperature. 5 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter. 1 1/2 tablespoons of honey. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And 1/2 teaspoon of butter extract. I'm going to take my whisk and stir all the ingredients together. Alright, let's get started with assembling our dough. So in our stand mixer bowl with our dry ingredients, I fitted the stand mixer with the dough hook attachment. I'm going to take the wet ingredients and add it into the dry ingredients. Mix this on a medium-low speed or according to your stand mixer's instructions on mixing doughs for about 3 to 4 minutes. Alright, as you can see, when I touch the dough, it barely sticks to my hands. That lets us know that the dough is ready. Lightly flour the surface of your table. Add the dough on top of the table. Now you may notice that the dough might be slightly sticky. Don't worry about that, because once we're going to knead the dough and we're going to incorporate the flour in there, so it won't be as sticky. Okay, so don't worry about that. Knead this for 1 minute. I'm going to form this into a ball. Make sure I add some flour underneath there. I'm going to form this into a square as best as I can. Let the dough rest for about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, next I'm going to take my hands and I'm just going to press this down into a flat square. Now as I'm pressing the dough down, I'm stretching the dough out. You can also use a rolling pin to help you out if you want to, which I'm going to use. I'm going to roll this out into a 10-inch wide by 16-inch long rectangle. Alright, that looks good. Next, I'm going to take a sharp knife and I'm going to first cut the dough into strips. And from there, I'm going to cut the dough into medium-sized squares. Okay, next I'm going to weigh each piece of dough. Now, each piece of dough should weigh about 0.5 to 0.6 ounces in weight. Now, if you run into any issues where the weight might be a little bit less than usual, you just take some dough from smaller pieces and just combine it with that until it reaches 0.5 or 0.6 ounces in weight. And of course, if you have a piece of dough that might weigh more than 0.5 to 0.6 ounces in weight, you just take a knife and you just trim it off the best way you can, and then weigh a piece of dough again, and then again it should weigh between 0.5 and 0.6 ounces in weight. Okay, here I have all my pieces of dough, and once done, you should have about 55 pieces of dough all together. Now over here, all these pieces are the dough that I cut out and it came out even, but on this side, I have all the pieces of dough that I had to take smaller pieces of dough and add to it to get it to 0.5 or 0.6 ounces in weight, okay? Now I'm gonna also let you notice that the weight and the size and the amount of pieces of dough will vary depending on how you weigh it and cut it, okay? Now I'm going to take each piece of dough, place it into the palm of my hands, and I'm just going to roll it into a ball. And there we go. All right, let's get started with our butter vanilla honey mixture. So in this medium-sized bowl, I've added 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and I'm going to melt this in the microwave on high for about 1 minute or until the butter completely melts. Okay, now that we have that nice and melted, I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 teaspoon of honey. I'm going to take my spatula and stir all the ingredients together. Okay, let's get started with our cinnamon sugar mixture. So in a medium-sized bowl, I'm going to add 2/3 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Now, if you're adding the chopped pecans, which is an optional ingredient for this recipe, you're going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of it. Make sure you blend it really well in a food processor until it resembles coarse crumbs, and then you add it in there. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Stir all your ingredients together. Spray your Bundt pan with the Baker's Joy non-stick baking spray. Okay, let's get started with coating our dough pieces. We're going to take 6 individual pieces of dough and we're just going to add that into the honey butter vanilla mixture. And we're just going to coat that very gently with the honey butter mixture. And from there, you're just going to take each piece of dough and just going to carefully add it into the cinnamon sugar mixture. And next, we're just going to take the bowl with the cinnamon sugar mixture, and we're just going to move it around like that in a circular motion to coat the pieces of dough with that cinnamon sugar mixture. From there, you're just going to carefully remove them out. And from there, you're going to take them and add it right into the middle section right here, going all around. I'm going to start right there. Okay, next we're going to add the pieces of dough around the outside right here. Okay, next we're going to add the pieces of dough along the middle right here. Okay, and next we're going to add some pieces of dough in between the 2 pieces of dough right here on the side. So start right here. Okay, next for support, I'm going to place some on the outside right here. So that's 1. Okay, next I'm going to cover this with a towel. Let this rise in a warm spot for 1 hour. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and preheat my oven to 350 degrees. Alright, it's been about 1 hour now. Let's remove the towel. Wow, that rose up pretty nicely. Now it is ready to be baked. Place this into a preheated 350 degree oven on the middle rack. Bake this for 18 minutes. Alright, it's been about 18 minutes now for our monkey bread. Now let's go ahead and remove this out of the oven. Let this cool for 15 minutes. Here I have an 11 by 17 inch baking pan, and I have a cooling rack here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the monkey bread onto the cooling rack. And there we go. All right, let's get started with our butter vanilla honey icing. So in this small bowl, I'm going to add 1 1/4 cups of confectionery sugar, 2 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter, 3 tablespoons of warm whole milk, a half a teaspoon of honey, a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/4 teaspoon of butter extract, 1/8 of a teaspoon of almond extract. Now, if you don't want to add the almond in there, you don't have to. And a sprinkle of salt just to bring out the flavors. I'm going to take my whisk and stir all the ingredients together. And there we go. Our honey butter vanilla icing is now ready. Now I'm going to drizzle the icing on top of the bread, going zigzag motion all around the bread, just as you see here. Let this set for about 5 to 10 minutes. Here I have 2 spatulas, and I'm going to carefully place them underneath the monkey bread. And from there, I'm going to carefully transport it onto a serving plate. And after that, it is ready to be served. Now for some quick tips, this is best served warm. Don't let it get cold. If it does happen to get cold, you can place it into a preheated 325-degree oven for about 6 minutes or until the bread is warm. And for best results, of course, you can wrap it, place it into a refrigerator. In that way, you can serve it the very next day following the instructions I just gave you with preheating the oven and adding the bread into the oven until it's warm. That way the flavors can settle and increase overnight. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Homemade honey bun style monkey bread made by a New Orleans native. If you like my channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell button if you want to be notified of my videos. I have an official website for all of my recipes, including this one. Go to www.charliethecookandrews.com. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter under the name Charlie the Cook Andrews. Stay tuned as Charlie's taste test is coming up next. Can't wait. Now it's time to go ahead and take a bite. Now before we begin, I just want to let y'all know that this is best served warm, okay? Don't let it get cold, all right? Now, it's very simple. You don't cut into it like you cut into a cake. You don't do that. You take your fingers, you pull a piece off like that, and from there, you can eat it. Oh my goodness. I gotta take another bite of this. Hold on. Yes. I'm tempted to get another bite of it. Y'all, this is really good. It's very soft. It has the right amount of moisture in it. I can't really explain it. It's like a cinnamon roll and a honey bun in one. And it's just the right amount of sweetness, not overly sweet at all. You can taste the cinnamon and the honey. I mean, y'all, this is absolutely delicious. So, give the recipe a try. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, have a good one. Peace.